So, so guys, we're doing the brewery tour now, and this is Maxwell. It's going to be a tour guide for now. We're going to see how some of this magnificent beer is made, and I'm trying to unravel
You
the
use the word
and it's not working. And yes, now it's working. I am going to wear a hairnet on top of my balaclava, which makes total sense. It's not a crazy thing to do. There we go.
I'm drinking on the job, by the way.
So first,
The only place you can drink on the job.
This is Muratatu. Which one is your favorite? Your personal favorite?
Yeah, so
Are you allowed to say?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But all beers are my favorite here since I'm a brewer. What's so unique about Matatu? It's very alcoholic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
10.4%.
You get my reasoning.
It's our highest beer.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm your highest customer at this point. At a point in time, I am the highest. Effectively high.
So we say, you know what I say? Once you have 3 Muratatus, Muratatu tattoo.
Oh, that's why it's called Muratatu. It's like Maratatu.
It's like a tranquilizer.
So Maxwell, maybe you want to walk us through like how do you make beer? Like let's have some fun.
Yeah, so first of all, I'll show you the ingredients we use here.
Right.
Yeah, and it's all the ingredients that is used to make beer. Yeah, so first of all, we use these are the ingredients. Maybe you can look at here. So this is barley. This is barley.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have different varieties.
Yeah.
But what makes them? It's a process.
Yeah. Because if you want to take a shot of the ingredients.
Yeah. So it's a process called mashing. I mean malting. So this is barley. It's malted barley. So before we receive barley here, we can undergo a process called malting. So the malting will develop in colors. So that's why we are saying we have different colors of barley here.
So the darker it is, the more developed it is, the more.
So the more flavors and color. So for example, the dark malt.
Okay. And how do you malt? How do you malt exactly?
So it's a different process from brewing. It's a complete different process from brewing, where we have the first stage of the malting with the steeping, then we go to germination, and the final stage is the kilning, where now the color develops and the flavors. Yeah, so the kilning is like just roasting the barley. So,
it gets roasted.
Yeah,
okay.
So just like roasting the barley.
Okay.
So the length of the roasting and also the temperatures will result to a different barley.
Okay.
Yeah. So, for example, like the dark one, it will have to take a long length of roasting so that you can develop that dark color.
Yeah, definitely looks roasted. It looks like someone told his mother is so fat. Finish the roast.
Yeah, but now once we come to the brewing area, we use the barleys for different purposes.
Right.
Yeah, for example, for light beers, we are going to use light malt. Yeah. For example, like the pilsners, the lagers. Actually, the lagers.
I have a bit of a weird question.
Yeah.
What else do you do with malt? Because I imagine there's a lot of waste that comes into processing this kind of thing. Is there anything you can do with malt or the byproducts that can be like?
So yeah. So after using the malt, we can give them to the animal feeds.
Wow.
Yeah. It's very nutritious.
So yeah. Like 2 in 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you sell? Do you actually do? Do you
we
sell?
don't sell for now. We just give it for free.
Oh, to like the local farmers?
I like that corporate social.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty good CSR.
Yeah. So for the right malts, we do like lagers, and maybe close to pales, we do the
Stouts.
IPAs and stouts.
Right.
Yeah. So the stouts actually use the dark malts because of that color. And also that the flavors.
So the malt gives it the color.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the ingredients. So you have the ingredients. What's the next step?
So this is just one ingredient. So we have the malt in general. Then we have water. So in beer, that's about 95% it's water.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it's understandable because what else would you be drinking?
That's why it says 5% alcohol because 95% is water.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Anything that's liquid is probably some percentage water.
Right.
Literally, yeah. And then we have another very important ingredient called the hops.
Hops.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
hops
so the IPAs are very
are
hoppy.
very hoppy. So that's the whole idea of
Ingredient, the thing that makes it the
hops.
taste, it
Exactly.
gives it the taste.
Right.
Yeah. So and there is a stage where we add the hops.
Mm-hmm.
There must be heat. So for us to extract both bitterness.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'll take you through the processes.
Okay, amazing.
And I'll show you where we add certain ingredients and what characteristics it imparts to the beer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So this is the first kettle here, as you can see.
Right.
So, and once we talk about craft brewery, one of the major things we consider is the volumes. So small volumes, but quality products.
Right.
Yeah. And also we have a chance to do a variety of beers. Yeah, so that's what makes us a craft brewery.
So what is this here?
So this one is called the mashing process.
Mashing
Yeah.
process.
So this is where you add your grains, but before you add them, you have to mill them.
Right.
Okay. So before you add them, you have to mill them, and you don't mill them to be like a flour. You just make them open, like just crushing the grains.
Right.
Yeah. So and then you work them, you mix with water. A process called mashing. It goes for about 60 minutes, 1 hour.
Okay.
Yeah, and there is a
So what's mashing? What is it? Are they like crushed?
So it's crushed grains and you mix with water at a certain temperatures.
Right.
Yeah.
And what temperature is that?
Scientifically, what happens? We have natural enzymes
Right.
found in the body, and they're going to break down the sugars from complex form to simple form.
Right.
Yeah. So we need the sugars to be in simple form, so that we can take them to the fermentation and then ferment the sugars.
Right.
Yeah, so the whole idea here is just breaking down the sugars and then taking the sugars to the fermentation area and then we ferment the sugars.
So what temperature should it all happen
So
at?
we have different stages.
I like how you asked us if we're going to do it. You have this machine at home.
I'm gonna cook math.
And also for the sugar you're interested in, yeah, so we have different temperatures.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also different length.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are like all these mashes, or is it like this
So
is the
this
only
is
masher?
the only mash.
Right.
So mashing is the first process.
Yeah.
Right.
After meeting, you bring the
And I can
the
see
mash
this
area.
looks like some sort of like obstacle course. So like I'm guessing whatever comes from here goes into the
Yeah,
next
exactly.
line. It's like
It's
an
a
assembly
continuous
line
process.
thing.
Yeah,
Right.
It's a continuous process.
Okay, so I guess we
now,
go to the
after
next
this
one.
After mashing,
Yeah,
just come
maybe one.
to the Wolof and Lauter kettle. So here's where you do the separation.
Yeah, maybe you want to take
Yeah.
Cliff. You want to come up and then take a shot of the inside of the kettle, and
The
like
separation of the spent grains and the sweet liquid.
You must be really good at chemistry to understand these kinds of
And also biology.
Biology as well.
Yeah.
This takes a lot of...
so. Like the spent grain is what you give to the farmers.
Exactly. Now we do the separation here.
Right.
Yeah, photographs here. This is where you look your liquid,
Right there.
and you'll see the proceeding of the clear liquid. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And once you are satisfied that your liquid is clear, then we transfer it to this kettle. We call it the boiled kettle.
Yeah.
And you are left behind with your spent grains.
Yeah, and then that goes to the local whatever.
But now, the other one step that you are remaining, the spent grain had some remaining sugars. So introduce a fresh water, clean water, at a certain temperatures, and then release of the remaining sugars.
So do you put it back in here, or
Just direct to this.
so it's like to get as much sugar out of it as possible. It's like
So
yeah.
can you taste this at this point?
Yeah, you can taste.
What does it taste like? What is like
It's
clear?
sweet. It's sweet.
Very very
Because
sweet.
you already have the sugars from the grains.
Right.
And now it is in
Right.
liquid form. Yeah.
Okay.
It's sweet. Yeah.
So what's the next process after this?
And that was our target. We remember I told you we want a sweet thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is used just to like swallow over the
Right.
Yeah.
Mwiko.
Kama mwiko.
Yeah.
It's like making ugali.
Exactly.
But I know there's home brewing kits, but I think they're usually sold with powders. If someone wanted to get into brewing at home and they don't have this kind of equipment, is it possible still?
Yeah. What would they
So you can
get?
use something we call like extracts for the home brews. But that is it is another form of like it is originated from the barley, then it is put in the liquid form, and then
Right.
you can just add directly.
So
Right.
brewing is very somewhat artificial compared to this.
Yeah, but there is a difference. Yeah, you will notice a difference in the final product. Yeah,
It's much better
because
to get it from here.
yeah, exactly.
These are specialized machines.
But I love this. I'm loving the setup. I'm learning so much, man.
Yeah,
This is beautiful.
My beer. Did you know it takes this much to
I know, man. It's so cool.
yeah.
Exactly.
We normally call this the hot side.
This is a concerted effort
to get you drunk.
to lead us to alcoholism. Anyway.
And still remember, we still don't have our beer.
Look on this side so we can show
The
them.
liquid at this stage, we call it what? Unfermented liquid. Yeah,
Right.
we call it what?
Right.
Yeah. So this is the final stage, and once we are satisfied with the liquid and the amount, so we just boil it and
Yeah.
then add the hops,
Maybe-
and then separated from that stage.
Yeah, like this is the main one for this stage, so but you can cover the whole area.
And we add the hops at different stages, and those that we add at the beginning of the boil,
The hops are there to flavor the drink.
the flavor and bitterness and aromas of
So
course.
people actually look for the bitterness is man.
No, but I actually like the bitterness because
Me too.
it reminds me of like bitter herbs. It's like
Yeah,
like,
and
it's really nice.
something interesting about the hops, we have a variety.
Yeah.
So you can distinguish the flavors very easily.
Now let me ask you something. So hops, these are something that are grown locally, right? What are they called?
Right.
We don't
Any local level?
we don't have them locally
have them
here.
locally?
We just import them
Where they
because,
which country is it from? Africa?
Why
or
can't we
outside?
grow our own hops?
because of climatic reasons.
They need a specific
Oh.
type of soil.
Yeah. So
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
So technically, every beer has some kind of like international component.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, so what happens here?
so we boil the what? Remember, we still
Yeah,
don't have our
the unfermented.
yeah. So we boil our what for another 60 minutes, and at those 60 minutes, we do addition of hops at different stages. So at the beginning of the boil, we do add the bittering hops. Yeah, we add the bittering hops, and then maybe like just 5 minutes before the end of the boil, we just add the flavoring hops and aromatic hops. Yeah, yeah.
And then what's that
And
cylinder
then
for?
so the other kettle there is that just used for boiling water.
Okay,
Yeah, that's-
so that's the water that gets rooted
Exactly.
there.
So if we need
Or is
water
it for
at this
here?
stage, we just boil the water there, then pump it directly to this kettle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So that's
do you have like a storage component? Because I see there's another tank over there.
That one. So that is still in the process. It is still in modification.
Oh.
Yeah.
So where does the alcohol go? Does it stay here or does
So
it go to
now
some
once
storage?
we boil the liquid, we are now transferring to the fermentation.
So it's hot when it's
It's
coming
still
from
hot. It's still hot.
So the fermentation is down there.
Yeah, on the other side. But
Awesome.
before we go there, we have to pass our liquid to a heat exchanger.
Okay.
Where we do cool our water.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't want our water to be so hot when fermenting it,
Right.
because you are going to kill our yeast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so once we go to the fermentation area, I'll give you some information about the yeast.
Okay.
And if you can remember, you said yeast is a living organism.
It is.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we don't want to kill the yeast.
As opposed to a dead organism.
So maybe you can just walk to the fermentation area. We have different capacities. And
It's really interesting.
so actually what you are drinking, the Muratatu. As you can see, we have another batch coming here.
Right.
Yeah.
So the beer that comes through the taps at the service area, they all come from here.
They all come from here.
There's a pipe.
So yeah,
Plumbing.
we have a lot of pipes, as you can see. At the back. We have a lot of pipes.
I know. It really is.
Yeah. So once we boil the water, we just transfer direct here, and we add our yeast. And now we have different yeast. We have those for the ales and for the lagers. So once you have your beer, you are either drinking an ale or a lager.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
from what I'm understanding, all beers start from the same ingredients,
Yeah.
but the way they turn out is because of the type of malt you use,
The
and then
hops.
the hops, and then
The
the amount of
yeast.
yeast in
Yeah,
the yeast.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah. I know.
These are the biggest batches we have.
Right.
For example, now like we have mulatatu. This is being prepared for packaging.
Now,
Yeah.
so all this is like packageable material, or is it like will there be some byproduct
So
going to be filtered some more?
remember, we don't filter our beers.
It's like natural,
Yeah,
kept natural.
it's natural. And we say we do a natural filtration, and this is where we wait the sediment to settle at the bottom, and then we can just remove them from the bottom. Yeah, so we don't filter our beers. Yeah.
And the final step in the process, or
And one of the disadvantages of filtration, it's you might interfere with the flavors. So we don't want to interfere
so
with
this
the
is a bit of a
flavors.
strange question.
Yeah.
So these machines here will stay running and provide. Like, how do you decide the amount you make? I know there's some for packaging.
Yeah.
And I know there's some for serving. So they will all come from here through these pipes.
So once we make one batch, we do it.
Yeah, it's very full.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's already
it is.
full.
So like, this much beer would get you drunk for a year. You can be a big deadbeat dad.
Yeah,
Like the deadbeat dad you always wanted to be.
yeah,
That's all
exactly,
the alcohol you need.
exactly.
So once they plan to package, they package the whole batch. Yeah, for maybe a few days. And once it is packaged, it is transported to the serving area or the cold room. Yeah.
And Owen told us something really interesting. You guys keep your beers refrigerated to keep
Yeah,
them fresh.
to keep them cold and also,
Yeah, I saw you have the cold room storage.
yeah, that's why we have the cold room storage. Yeah, they actually around below 6 degrees C.
60 degrees
6 degrees C.
Celsius.
Yeah, below. Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
6 degrees Celsius.
So this is where the yeast thing happens.
So yeah, the fermentation happens here. And,
That's what I call the yeast thing.
Yeast infection.
Yeah. So what happens? Remember, I told you yeast is a living organism,
Right.
and we need to feed on the yeast
Yeah,
for it to survive.
yeah.
Yeah. So the yeast survives by absorbing the sugars. So it feeds on the sugars, and then what we are taking now,
The waste product
which is the waste products
is alcohol.
from the yeast.
We're basically drinking yeast piss
No one
right
makes you a
now.
waste man.
And if I can release this,
Alcohol is just yeast piss. It's
you
yeast
can
shit.
you can come close here
Yeah.
and feel so you have pressure. You
Yeah.
have pressure.
Yeah.
It is being generated by the yeast.
Wow.
So we have byproducts from the yeast, which is alcohol.
Yeah.
Then we have energy and CO2.
So that's the shit. This is the farts, basically.
So this process goes for about
Yeah.
2 weeks, and then the beer is ready.
Because it needs time for it to ferment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ferments.
And then do you have like a place where you tap it out for packaging or what?
So before even we consider it for packaging, we do our samplings. We must do our quality parameter checks, and then we can pass it for packaging.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why you are saying we have different valves.
Yeah.
Like we have the bottom valves.
Yeah.
Then we have this one. This one is for tasting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that your test?
Yeah, we do taste at this.
And or is it like
Not at this stage. Yeah.
At this stage, it will kill you.
come back after 2 weeks? It'll make you fall east.
For sure. Okay, is there a next stage?
So yeah, now the final stage, it's where now you prepare the beer for packaging.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and maybe you
So
can.
this is technically just ready to drink already.
It's already
After
ready to
2
drink.
weeks,
Yeah,
yeah.
after 2 weeks should be ready to drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's amazing is that the fact that this is all this engineering is for something that like a drink for
Like
social
just
times.
to end up as something in your
A drink
glass.
for social time, which
Yeah,
is nice. Like
exactly.
it tells you there's money in
There's a
entertainment.
lot of thought that goes into it.
Like this is a traditional thing that's been,
Yeah.
commercialized, industrialized, which means like they will be with us for a very long time, even with
I
the
love
age of
it.
AI and
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
We still have these processes. They're just like transformed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have people in the old days. You would be like one of those wazels.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's talk to Maxwell. Let's
Exactly.
see, like, if you can make us a moratina for graduation or something
Right.
like that. How did you get into this? Like you yourself.
So
Yeah.
for me, I came across a guy who was doing a homebrew. And that's why I started having a passion on making the beer. Making a beer. Yeah. And once I started knowing what beer is, and now I had my curiosity to know how it is made. And that's how I started making beer.
So this was your
Awesome.
first experience making beer, or did you try making it yourself? Because I know there's a way you can make it by
So
yourself.
before I even came here, I tried it myself.
How did it turn out?
Right.
So and I actually had ciders. The ciders.
That's pretty cool.
It's
That's
amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Beer making is
We should do an episode on home brewing and just like walk viewers through home
beer
brewing.
making is something that's been around for a while. So you
Yeah.
make this and then they will taste okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is just like doing it at scale for many people.
Yeah, exactly.
Very interesting.
Well, thanks, Maxwell. Thanks for that tour.
Yeah.
Guys, you know the download. Hopefully, we'll do an episode on home brewing. So if anyone wants to do it hands-on, that would be great.
We might even contact Maxwell to give us like a behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Okay, if I wanted to make more.
All right. Thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome.
So I think the shot ends there. Yeah.
So-